Let's talk electric cars.
Face to face, now they read my eyes. We dey talk, we dey yarn the things where they touch you. Face to face.
My name is Chuzi Onyenso, your co-host, and here we have Mr. Ogbonnaya, OJM Electricals. He's here with us. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me today. I greet you all our audience listening to us. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever, depending on when you are.
The location,
the location where you are, and also when you'll be listening or watching this particular episode.
Okay, thank you so much. Please, we sincerely apologize for starting a bit late due to some technical glitches beyond our control, but promise you next time not going to be like that. Don't you start on today? It's like Mr. Steve is not here, but that's probably next time we could host together. Okay, so we could host together so that you will be, but it's going to be quite interactive and quite educative. Today we have a very lovely topic that says solar and not inverters. It sounds somehow, but I think I'm trying to get it now. As a layman, I want to, what we know is solar.
Yeah.
So from what it's saying, does it mean there's a difference between the solar system, the solar panel, and the inverter? Is there any difference in it?
Definitely.
There's a difference there?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's why you're a specialist in this area. So, sir, please, can you just expatiate a little bit so that we understand? You know, I'm a layman. Many of us here watching us, we are laymen.
Yeah.
So you have to explain to us. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So when you were even mentioning the solar system, I was smiling, right? Okay. So because this, you know what the platform or the program we are doing, Let's Talk Electrical.
Yes.
We are actually bringing clarity to electrical misconceptions.
Okay.
So this is actually one of the most glaring misconceptions we have, probably in the solar installation industry.
Okay.
Now, when we talk about solar is referring to the sun.
Okay.
So, and when people say I want to install solar, does that mean they want to install the sun?
Okay, they want to install. Okay, yeah. The solar system. That means I want to install the sun. The heat of the sun will melt me.
Then now, the number two, which you said was a solar system. Solar system also as well is talking about the planets and the sun.
Okay.
And every other, if there's any asteroid or whatever inside the universe.
Okay.
So it's not still referring, it's not a definitive term in the electrical industry.
Okay.
So if you want to bring it down to the electrical industry, you either call it solar energy or solar power.
Okay.
Now, there is still another misconception.
Okay.
If you call it solar energy or solar power, it's still vague. It's not still probably explanatory. Now, let's just start first with the solar. Solar or solar energy or solar power is referring to the conversion of the sun to electricity. This conversion is being done by a device called a solar panel.
Okay.
So when it converts these solar sun rays to electricity, it can only stop. It has a limitation on only converting down to DC, which is direct current.
Okay.
So this direct current is actually what it provides, and then we now go over to inverters. Okay,
the solar panel, its work majorly is to
harness the
sunlight, convert it to direct current, which is DC.
Yes.
Hope we are learning.
That's where its function stops.
Okay, that's where it's from. That's the limitation of
that's the limitation.
Okay.
Then inverters now come into play.
Okay.
Now taking that DC current and now turning it into AC current, which is an AC power, which is alternating current.
Okay.
Then ideally, or more recently, we have appliances that uses its input power is actually DC current. While most of the appliances that we have, like our television, our fridge, our light bulb, whatever, are still AC appliances. So if probably solar panels stop at DC current, that means there are other electrical appliances that it cannot use them. Yes. So that's why now inverter now comes in to now convert that DC power to AC power. So that's just the explanation between a solars and not inverters.
Okay. I think I'm learning a lot now. I'm seriously learning a lot, to be candid with you. But I don't know, is it poor marketing strategy or what? Because this thing happens, or is it Nigerian something that is happening to us? Because I don't know, seasoning cube.
Yes.
So, but hardly you tell someone I want seasoning cube. Many people will not understand. But if you tell a layman I want Maggi, you see someone, the woman will send the child, go and buy me Maggi. The same woman will tell you, don't buy me Maggi star, buy me Maggi no. But there's nothing like it's seasoning cube. You understand me? Yeah. Or they will tell you, go and buy me Indomie. But buy me chicky Indomie. But rather it's noodles. Yeah. So is it that in the marketing strategy, people don't let many of us who are layman to understand that there is a difference between solar panel and inverter? Because most times someone will come and tell you, I need solar, I need inverter, I need this one. So is it that we don't market it or we don't try to enlighten people very well?
Okay, so this is not actually an issue that is being caused by a certain people in the industry, right? Yes. So I will even say sometimes even customers challenge you and say, I'm not talking about it, but I want to install solar.
Okay, even the customers, when you want to explain to them, they tell you no.
I'm not talking about solar inverters, I'm talking about solar, I want to install solar, right? So, but let's just start from the no before going to the unknown. Okay. The number one thing that is causing this misconception is actually market mislabeling. Okay. That's the number one thing that is causing this misconception. So, what is market mislabeling?
You need to explain. Yes, so I will understand that.
It now refers to probably people that bucket or package goods to sell. For example, I don't know. Okay, let's just use the noodles you refer to. Okay. Inside the noodles, you see the main noodle, you see pepper, you see all these ingredients, everything together. They package it and they call it solar.
Okay.
So when customers have the general idea that when I want to embark into a solar installation project, I just say I want to install solar. That's market mislabeling, which is coming from the electrical vendors or the solar vendors, right? The number two is actually cultural shorthand, right?
The Nigerian.
Yes, just like you have been actually illustrated. Now, one of the most transparent or glaring one is one of my friends said, I just booked Uber. Then when you arrived on boat. Now I said, do you book Uber or boat? He said it's Uber. I said, for his boat. So we have Taxify, we're in drive, we have both, but people just generalize it.
They are all Uber. Online taxi.
Yes, e-hailing services.
E-hailing services.
But they just generalize it to be Uber.
Because that was the first name. That was the first one I came
Yes.
Okay, that's the Nigerian.
That's just cultural shorthand. So when they don't just know what to call it, they just call it anything.
Just like you tell someone I want sausage, the person will know, but tell him go and buy the gala. The person will know.
Not the other gala.
No, okay.
So you not get confused. Which one is not the other gala?
Okay.
So it's still that cultural shorthand. The number three thing is actually I think empower awareness.
Okay.
If not that I'm here, most people will still carry on with that misconception about solar and inverter, right? So the awareness, I think this is actually being led for our electrical agencies in Nigeria, or governing bodies in Nigeria, or regulatory agencies in the electrical industry to create this awareness. There are several things that is really going south, even as it concerns to the electrical practitioners involved and even the components being used for this solar installation, right? So it is number one, market mislabeling, number two, cultural shorthand, and number three is actually poor awareness.
Okay, I think this we are doing here could help. We just need to increase the awareness.
Yes.
Enlightening people the more and more. And I think at least our viewers who are hearing now, we are hearing it from the horse's mouth. He's a specialist a guru in this field. There's a difference between solar panel and the inverter. Solar panel is different, inverter is different. At least he has taught us that what the solar panel traps direct current and the inverter helps to convert it to alternating current so that some of our appliances we have now could use it efficiently. Okay, there's another area we are having now because sometimes people who want to get this solar energy, they want to install solar panel and they just rush. They go and install, like I want to install one probably in my office or at the end of the day, many of us we have this notion that once you install it, at least we are having a high cost electrical issue now that some places the tariff for electricity is bigger than our house rent. So once we install the solar panel, we feel that we will not pay again. That's everything is good. But at the end of the day, you now see some of us are facing some challenges. So what's the mistake? What's the problem? Why do you face some challenges after installing some solar panels?
Okay, I see. It's very, very fragmented.
Okay.
The solar industry is very, very fragmented, and here is the reason. Number one is that the solar didn't came in as something they are introducing to the electrical industry. It just came in as a product that you can go and buy. Let me give you an example. It's just like when you go to the market to go and buy torchlight, or buy radio, or buy television, or buy whatever. But it didn't come in as probably as a practice or a skill in the electrical industry. I don't know for other part of the world, but in Nigeria, this is actually how it came in.
But it didn't come out. It didn't come to Nigeria as a skill.
Yes.
This is a skill of its own that you can go and learn. It's like a product you can easily buy and use.
People started from buying.
So people started from buying, and some persons started doing. I can install sort of thing.
You get the point. So that's where the problem started from. So customers can go to the market, buy solar and come and keep. The other time they can go and buy battery and come and.
Okay, that means that some person will not be reading the manual how to feel this thing, just like.
You see, so when it not gets probably what they cannot really do it by themselves, DIY. They will now start looking for professionals. So, what is the issue, or what actually causes this problem is number one, lack of that knowledge or lack of that information while embarking into solar installation. So you must understand that solar installation is still like an electrical project on its own.
Okay.
First of all, a professional comes to your home and do what we call load analysis, conducting load audits. That is understanding the whole energy you use in your home. Okay. Not only that, solar systems are not just meant to carry everything in your home, but also as well understanding what you really want it to power. That's where we now get to know about load separations and so on and so forth. Then number two, proper sizing. So when I understand your energy need, then I now do proper sizing, coming up with a design that could carry that your home, or based on what you want it to carry.
Okay, that means it's not every solar panel based on the appliances you have. The same thing goes with the inverter. The capacities are different.
Yes.
So based on the load we want to carry, based on the building and everything, so that will determine the
whole system, what you are going to buy, the size and whatever.
So invariably, what you're saying is that even before anyone tries to embark on installing solar panel, the solar energy in their homes or in the offices, they must consult a specialist like you.
Definitely.
That's the goal of the
Definitely. So then, moving forward, now after coming up with a design, we now probably size the system. Then say, okay, this is how many panels that are needed. Coming up with them an estimate, which is the materials involved in actually doing this solar installation project. So this is the numbers of the panels needed. These are the numbers of batteries needed, charge controllers, and every other component that we use for solar installation. So when these processes are not being followed according to this chronological order, it causes an issue and it poses a very big risk. One of the risks can actually be, first of all, is you losing your money. Because solar, to have a proper solar system of about 1 kVA is about 1.6 million. So after getting a solar of about 1.6 million and it's not serving the purpose by which you need it, we see it's actually a total waste of money. Then it can even cause issue, you taking the technician to police cell or the person, you understand, and so on and so forth. The number three is that it actually ignite or cause electrical fires.
Yes, because that is another area I want. Because I've seen somewhere there's an office, one of my friends, the office I went there.
Okay.
After some time, I noticed that the thing got burnt. So is it based on the?
Yes. So this poor sizing, just like I said, so probably your friend even went and bought it 111 the way I was explaining ab initio, right?
Yes.
So probably the charge controller he bought is poorly sized than the.
Then he now bought another one.
So all several things might have actually as well gone wrong, right?
So invariably, what you are saying, what you are advising is this: before embarking on this, we must get a specialist.
Yes.
Just like you. Get a specialist like you to do the proper analysis, the quotation, and every the sizing and every other thing.
Yes.
So and it's still the specialist that has to fix it. We don't need to go and we read manual. Some of us read manual and try to fix. So we don't need this. Is not reading manual and fixing.
Yes.
It's not fun.
No, it's not component of fan.
Okay.
So it can cause electrical fires, right? And then also several other things it can cause. You can lose your house, you can lose your home, it can cause the death of people, and so on and so forth, right? So these are just the few things it causes.
So as we are hearing now, it's not good that we want to use a green energy. In the process of using green energy, we are causing harm.
Bad energy.
We are not causing
black energy.
we are not causing an energy worse than fossil fuel.
Yeah.
So, but please, before embarking on solar panel, solar energy installation, you get a specialist. And thank God we have one here. We have OJM Electricals. He is the grandmaster. They call him grandmaster.
The electrical grandmaster.
Yes, the electrical grandmaster. So feel free to contact him for consultation for your solar panel installation and everything. He will guide you through. He's a specialist and a guru in this. So let's continue.
Okay.
Now, at least you are enlightening us. You are giving us pure education now, because I've learned some of us that don't know the difference between DC and AC currents. Some of us, if you say AC, they feel it's the AC we use around the air condition. You don't know that it's a current called AC, alternating current. Yes. Now we've learned that one. We also learned DC, the direct current. Yes. So at least you don't learn this. Sometimes you might not learn this in your school, but you are learning it free of charge from OJM Electric. That's why we have. You should always follow us on this show, on this program. Let's talk electrical. Here we dissect this thing, let you understand. We explain it to us explicitly as layman in a way we'll get to understand it pure and sound. Always coming from you here on FaceToface TV. Let's go another one. You know, some of us as consumers, what are the things we need to know? You know, it's not just about we install this thing. After a specialist has installed this thing, some of us need to have enlightenment how to use some of these things. Are there no precaution measures you take in some of these panels? Because there's a panel. Before, don't you use wire to connect this one to the inverter and every other thing? Is there no changeover for? So, as the consumers, how can we get to know some of these components and how these components are being used?
Okay. So, I think the professional is actually the one that is charged with the obligation of getting to know the components to be used for that solar installation.
Okay.
Now, just like as our topic today says, solars are not inverters. So this also refers to, it is not only probably the solar panels or the inverters that are present in probably solar installation projects.
Yes.
So we have, let's just follow it serially. So when we talk about solar installation, we are referring to the solar panels, the charge controller, solar charge controller, technically we call it the SCC, right? Then we have the inverter, right? Then we have the battery, and then we have the circuit protective system.
Now you are coming deep. Had it been we don't ask this question, we would have felt it's only solar panel. Once I get a solar panel, I have an inverter, I will have light. So we have different.
Yes.
The solar panel.
Yes.
The inverter.
Yeah. The charge controllers. The batteries. And the circuit protective.
That means the battery is different from the inverter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, let me still add a clause to it, right? Okay. Because there is more recently what we call solar generators.
Yes.
Or probably compact systems or hybrid systems or whatever.
Okay.
So you can see an inverter that comes with both the inverter and the charge controller inside it.
Okay.
You can still see an inverter that has inverter, charge controller, the battery inside it. One of it, I'm not giving an advert to MTN Lumos. Lumos is one of typical example. So Lumos came with the charge controller inside, the battery inside, and the inverter. Some of them here are inside, while some are outside. We call it converters, right? Okay. So these are the components actually present in any solar installation project.
You know, just like you've explained to us. So now, who has the right to explain to? Because at the end of the day, it's not the consumer that will install this thing. It's the specialist. They know these are the ways. Who will educate the consumer? Because a lot of us, some of us that have this solar energy in our homes and offices, some of us will not even know some of this information. The highest thing we know is solar panel, we know inverter, and some of us will know bad.
Yes.
But you see the charge control system and we don't know it.
Yeah.
If we were to ask a question now to our audience now, ask them, oh yeah, audience, please, do you know some of these components? How many of these components can you mention? You will see the reaction. Okay, we'll read the reaction from the comment section. So, who do specialists like you, when you install this thing, do you explain to us in detail? This is, or you just couple them without do explanation? Because all this is education.
Yes, definitely. So, what we do in OJM Electrical Company is even our estimation template comes with that structure.
Okay, that is why OGM is special.
Different, yeah.
It's different from what others don't do this, but OGM will give. You
Yes.
see why you need to meet OGM. OGM, he gives you this. The services are always different. That's why you always have to meet with OGM. So continue, sir.
So our estimation template or booklet comes with this structure, right? You get to know the whole components we are going to use for your solar installation project.
Okay, you don't even do only services. You do enlightenment,
Yes.
education.
Yes.
You work and you educate.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Definitely.
that's wonderful.
So also one of the things we do is actually we used to call it an after sales service, and this also comes with probably getting you to know how to operate or use your solar system. Now let me give a very perfect or practical illustration.
Just give me one you've done for your clients.
Yes. Now we installed a solar system that's 5 kVA, 10 kilowatt battery with 10 panels, right?
Okay.
So I will need to say this: solar is garbage in, garbage out. Please, audience, understand this.
Okay, just like the computer system. What
Yes.
it gives here.
Solar is garbage in, garbage out. Let's understand this very, very well. Now, solar is just like your phone. When you use your phone, you charge it fully and you keep it. You didn't use it. It's not the same thing with you charging it and then
you are charging it and you are using it the same time.
Yes. It's not the same thing with when you probably are using it to stream live, you're using it to, you understand? There are several usage actually have something to do with depleting the system as well. Or probably you're using the battery life, not probably using the battery life, but actually reducing
the percentage of the battery.
Yes, of the battery. So some people actually say, okay, I've installed solar, all my electricity needs are settled. And that's a very big misconception, right? So solar is just like you charge your phone. How you use it determines how it's going to last for you. Now, what we advise the client is, first of all, understanding their energy needs and then their peak uses. Peak uses is okay, we want to pump water, we want to press our clothes, we want to use the washing machine, we want to use the microwave or whatever. These are heavy duty appliances.
Okay.
And then we now advise when they can actually use it, like pump water when the sun is out. Okay, one other thing we do is there's a device we install, we call it a socket timer. So what this socket timer does is it automatically turns on and heavy appliances during the day and turn it off before the sun goes out.
Okay, by implication, that means it's wrong to pump water with your solar panel if you are using a solar energy at night.
Yeah, it is and it isn't. So probably if you know that the system is being sized to carry you like after sunlight 5 hours or 8 hours, and then the sumo wasn't included, and then you went and used it to pump water, you've actually reduced the battery life. Right? You have actually that battery capacity, you've reduced it a little bit. If it's supposed to be 3 bar, it's going to now be 2 bar or 1 bar, and it's not going to still carry you throughout the night as probably been specified by the professional here.
Okay.
So that is it. So what we do in OJM is we enlighten the audience. At the end of the day, they are not solar professionals or practitioners, right? So what we do is first of all, getting to know all the whole system and how to use them. Which system do you need to turn on or turn off? What do you need to do? How do you need to use the system? And also even the components I told you or the device I told you we used to install. So it's also to help them, even if they forget. So the system, the component or the device involved should actually act in place of that their forgetfulness.
From all the indications from what you said,
Yeah.
for those of us who are not in this, watching us, those who are able to understand what I'm going to say now. That means from all indication, this solar energy system will that's the meaning now. So what I in simple terms, what I meant is this: like it's divided. The work is specified there's the work of the practitioner and the person using the user end. So everybody should know where their own work is. So if you want to install a solar energy, always meet a professional like OJM Electrical. You know, he's a guru in this field. You see the way he's dissecting and explaining this thing to us in detail. He's explaining to us in detail. Firstly, let's just keep going. I think we should have taken some comment from our audience. Maybe, I don't know, should we take some comment from our audience?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, let's go ahead. Because of our time.
Yeah,
next time, audience, please, I'm sorry about that, but next time, definitely, we'll pick you. There are a lot of questions coming on board, but please, next time, we'll pick your questions. Please, in one sentence, what's the biggest minus? What's this falsehood? You know, a lot of us, we believe that if we install solar, just like we've seen the federal government in Aso Villa, we heard that they have approved to use how many billion to install solar in Aso Villa. Imagine all of us, now everybody wants to go to, so because some of us, the electricity bill is bigger than our assets.
Definitely.
So if we install, does it mean that we will not pay for, we'll use lights 247 for the next 100 years? We will not change the battery, we will not change anything. That is not, it's not.
It's not really true, right? Okay. But there is still a clause there, right?
Okay.
Because I think there is what we call purchasing power.
Okay.
And there are some clients that have this purchasing power.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. Now, when I even made an illustration of solar is garbage in, garbage out, what you give to it, you expect something. If you overuse it, it's not going to really serve you, right? But there are some calculations we do in the solar, while embarking on solar project. We used to call it days of autonomy. Okay. Right? Like it rained heavily today.
Yes, it rained cat and dogs today.
Yes. There are people that their solar is not going to perform optimally today.
Okay.
And there are still people that their solar is going to perform optimally. Now let me give you an example. Now, in our office, our solar panels provide whatever we use during the day. So even if probably as it's raining now, we have a backup power that could still carry us 2 days. Okay. So it means that whether it's raining or it doesn't concern us. So when people embark on, just like you said, what are the biggest myths? People think that when they install solar, it's gone.
That's the thing, 100 years is guaranteed.
Yes. In as much as most of these solar components have the lifespan of around 5 years to 5 years and so on and so forth. But the usage itself is not being guaranteed based on that durations you actually.
Okay. Yes. So even if it has 100 years guarantee.
Yes.
It does not have the warranty that if I use it anyhow, it will still last for that.
Definitely.
Okay, you know there's a difference between guarantee and warranty. There's no warranty that I use it anyhow, it will last for that 100 years. Okay.
Definitely. So the biggest myth here is that you need to understand, if you want more from your solar system, first of all is actually, you need to use it carefully. Okay. Secondly, use a professional. At the end of the day, I find it very, very disgusting that somebody will probably comfortably bring out millions to embark on solar project and still be using emotion to embark on that project. Probably giving the project to somebody they know, who they don't probably know whether they are going to deliver well. I don't say give it to OJM, but probably you're involving 5 million, 10 million, 15 million into this project.
For me, I'm saying give it to OJM.
Why not hire an expert
like
right?
OJM
that will make sure that we have the foundation is set right, right? Because even in our sizing, we used to size including future occurrences or probably having the future in mind, right? Like one of them is actually, okay, we want to install this solar. We have a plan that you're going to increase the system or upgrade it in future.
Yeah.
So those core components that we don't want you to change, changing it will cost you more in future. We have to implement it immediately.
Because the cost, we are living in a country where inflation and there are a lot of variation and inflation is happening.
Yes.
So and the cost in the future will not be the same.
Definitely. So those ones that will actually cost you more in future, we have to beg you or task you to acquire them now or procure them now.
Because it will be cheaper for us now.
Yes, than for future, right? So why do that? So when we understand this myth and understand that installing solar doesn't exonerate all our energy needs. And also, let me conclude with this. We have, I think, 2 major, parts of the installation, solar installation that we do. We have on-grid and off-grid. So when we say on-grid, we are talking about the solar installation you do that it doesn't require the NEPA to charge it or whatever. So whatever you are doing, you are sizing it in a way that it should carry you from generation to generation, from ages to ages. Why that's off grid?
Okay.
Why on grid is that you are still going to be using it and then manage it with the national grid
with the national grid.
Yes,
that's
probably
the power providing company, depending on where you are staying.
Yeah,
if you're in Aba Power,
yeah.
if you're in Lagos, you are using Eco
or whatever.
So depending on where you're okay. Please, final word.
Yeah.
You've enlightened us a lot of bits. You've told us the DC current, the AC current. That AC current is not air conditioner. There's a current, so you've explained to us the components in the solar energy installation, from the battery to the panel to the inverter, all the excel. So please, what will you leave the viewers?
Okay.
Tell us what you will leave to us, please. Okay.
I usually used to say this: electricity is hazardous and can be fatal if not handled by a competent electrician, technician, or engineer. Viewers out there is no need for you to actually embark on most of these solar installation projects or electrical projects in ignorance.
Okay.
If you don't know, ask question, right? Ask question. I wouldn't want you to lose your money. I wouldn't want you to lose your life. I wouldn't want you to lose your property. That's actually what I have.
Thank you so much for joining us on this segment. We'll be here with you next week. Of Let's Talk Electricals. I'm your humble friend and your co-host to this show, Tuesday Onions, and we have the electrical guru here with us, the Grandmaster Ogbonnaya, OJM Electricals. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Face to face, now the real matters. We dey talk with the young things for the